Weethan shoves that right over to the Lions half. Looks like this one's going in. Oh, you're kidding me. Don't ask. Oh, don't we're behind. We're going to see the barrage. The barrage.
Oh my gosh, Nico is just dominating right now.
What a play.
That's disgusting.
Oh my gosh.
That was disgusting.
Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to Carthage Firebirds' very, very first Smash Brothers Ultimate match. Starting us off, though, right into the battle, we're going to be seeing Fuzzy playing Brandini99. It looks like Fuzzy is going to be playing that Cloud pick, whereas Brandini99 is going to be playing the Samus pick. Ultimately, the Firebirds are kind of starting off pretty strong. Fuzzy, specifically, building up that charge on Cloud, but unfortunately, Samus able to do a ton of damage onto Fuzzy. Brandini is really just laying out any sort of projectile damage that they're able to do, but Fuzzy's not going to let that stop him and going to be building up that charge more and more, getting Brandini up to 100%, and that is one stock down. Brandini99 only having 2 more lives left, and Fuzzy's still at that 3 live advantage. However, because Fuzzy still has that percentage up, it is just not looking good. Probably going to have to survive just a little bit longer, but we're going to be seeing Brandini just we can see, kind of just playing a lot smart, a little less aggressive, but Fuzzy's just better, making sure that they're going to be evening up the odds quite quickly in this fight. 100% already on Brandini, whereas Fuzzy is... So I apologize. It is not Fuzzy. It is Raymond the GOAT playing as Fuzzy. Looks like we had to do a quick swap there, but right now it is Raymond the GOAT on the controls. Brandini, though, trying to do something, because Raymond the GOAT, is still holding that advantage with a massive lead. Just 100% though, that means at any moment Brandini can get a really good shot. As I say that is exactly what's going to happen. And Raymond the GOAT, unfortunately, now down to 2 stock there. Brandini, though, is still really, really hanging in there, having to really figure out how to really come back from this large margin, I should say. But Raymond the GOAT knocking him up, doing so much more damage, 91%, basically one shot away from being out of here. This is pretty fun to see. Raymond the GOAT we've seen some really good plays from him in the past and off-stream games, but this is just definitely proving his value, proving his skill. Oddly enough, though, I've never really seen him play Cloud. Normally we're seeing other choices, other fighter choices from him. Not Fuzzy, Raymond the GOAT, though, just getting knocked around. The odds have pretty much evened out, though, not looking at the stocks there. However, Raymond the GOAT coming back into the fight, knocking around Brandini more and more. Will we see this final little bit of a battle here? Should be ending any minute now, though. We're going to be seeing Cloud. Unfortunately, Raymond the GOAT knocked out, and the score has kind of evened out stock-wise, but then, coming back in with that percentage reset, knocking Brandini up over and over again, just probably ready for any sort of last-second hit, and Raymond the GOAT securing this first match. That was great to see. We're hopping right into the action. We forgot to introduce ourselves. I am your host, the Bearded Man, and I'm joined for the very first time in the casting seat. Bunny, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to be here. My first time casting. It's amazing.
I'm glad I got you by my side. It is a learning experience, as this is the very first stream of our Smash team, and already we're off to an excellent start, so I'm really happy to see that. It does look like Raymond the GOAT, though, going to be swapping finally to the actual name, so I'm not having to struggle there. Love to see it. What did you think of that first round? It was kind of quick, a lot, throwing us into the action. But what do you think? What do you think that Raymond the GOAT really excelled at?
He was hitting some great combos just over and over again that Brandini just wasn't able to combat. Just getting the percentage up high, taking advantage of that. He took it. Yeah.
I think Brandini really going to have to, finally realizes just what kind of opponent Raymond the GOAT is going to be. Definitely going to have to play a lot slower, a lot smarter from that distance. When you're having those those long distance fighters, as Samus is, especially against Cloud, you really have to kind of step away, kind of take it from a distance, make sure you're not, right up on them and taking a brunt of that damage from that melee weapon. But we are going to be, like I forgot to say earlier too, it is going to be a best of 5 tonight. For every single match we have going on tonight. So right now, 1-0, kind of a lot of Smash to be played. But we'll hopefully continue this lead from Raymond the GOAT. I'm excited what map we're going to be seeing after this one. I'm not quite sure. I believe we're going to have to do a quick restart. So what are you excited about? This is the first game of Smash. So, what is your experience with Smash? What is your experience with it?
I'm a casual Smash player, so like just recently I've been watching some of the more competitive plays of it. I'm excited. His name is Raymond the GOAT for a reason. So hopefully we'll continue to see some good stuff from him here.
Very, very true. Now Raymond the GOAT previously on that League of Legends team and has just been a dominant player in every role I've seen him in. Yeah. Easily the best League of Legends player I know personally. Wow. And I love to see it transferring over. It is funny though because Raymond the GOAT is the best Smash player I know. He is the one that I've had plenty of friends try and beat, and nobody has ever beaten him. And he just plays it so casually sometimes when he knows he has no challenge, and he still demolishes them, and I love it. I will never, ever try and play him because I know I have absolutely no chance. I'm a big Kirby player, though, for this one. Just flying up in the air, immediately going that down B, turning into a little bit of a boulder or rock or something and landing on them. Ultimately, it's the thing that works. It works, and I'm not changing it.
This is why I play Riddler.
Oh.
Because, as a casual player, I'm not the best. But Riddler, I can just use the down attack, destroy them.
Mm-hmm. I remember back in my day, we always theorized about Ridley being added to the game. And now we actually can. We can actually play Ridley. And see, I started out with Melee on the GameCube for years, and then it came out Brawl on the Wii.
You're a veteran.
So I was playing Brawl all the time, and then I kind of skipped the one on the Wii U as many did, and then Smash Ultimate came out. Loving every minute of that. And honestly, I'm disappointed. I'm really hoping they kind of make another one or some. I don't know. I feel like they need some sort of long-term continuation. I feel like in my experience, Ultimate was great. It was a great place, but they need something. Just some long-term solution to it.
Interesting. So you think different characters?
I think more characters. I don't know. I feel like, and compared to the previous, there are a ton of fighters in this fighter pool.
Definitely did not used to have that many options.
No, I think back on the Nintendo 64, there was only probably, I don't know, probably like 12 or so. It was the essentials, the classics, Mario, Luigi, all those that
all
gang,
good too.
Zelda, you got all those people, but now you got from every franchise under the sun that Nintendo pretty much has the rights to, and then even some like Steve from Minecraft, that's somebody you don't see. That was the last person I'd expect.
Me too.
But there was, I remember hearing theories of, Diva from Overwatch being added, or one of the Among Us characters, stuff like that. I know that there's a very large community online who has their own form of this where they do add modded characters. Mm-hmm. And honestly, that might be where that might be where this fan base thrives, is those create your own characters.
Yeah, I find it interesting how they're like breaching into other non-Nintendo characters as of recently. I wonder if we'll see any more of that, like Steve.
Yeah, but we are going to be hopping into match number 2. I should say round number 2. Raymond the GOAT against Brandini once again. Raymond the GOAT sticking with that Cloud pick, whereas Brandini going from Samus to Dark Samus. So hopefully that's the advantage. But it looks like we're going to be running into some server problems, which is unfortunate after they took so long to set up the lobby. That is the downside of these games, is it does take a little bit longer to really connect. But hopefully we can get those internet problems solved very soon. Hard to say, though. It might be on, I don't know if it's on us or on the Brandini, you know. You got situations like that where we're not sure. It looks like it might be us. But we probably might need to go into a little bit of a break while we solve these issues, unfortunately. But we'll be back hopefully very shortly once we get all these things fixed. Everybody to round 2 of game 1. Actual round 2 of game 1. Hopefully that is the end of our server and connection issues for tonight. Once again, though, Raymond the GOAT representing Carthage and Brandini 99, his opponent. I'm excited to see how this goes. Brandini 99 playing that Dark Samus, Raymond the GOAT playing that Cloud, winning round 1 on Cloud, doing a really, really good job, but kind of losing that lead towards the end there. So hopefully we're going to see a little bit more of a lead from Raymond the GOAT and a lead hold, in a sense. Holding that lead is something that you can never go wrong with. But Raymond the GOAT kind of starting off taking a lot of damage. Unfortunately, Brandini 99 being able to kind of play it slower like we were expecting, trying to do a little bit more of a ranged play, laying down those rockets, trying to do enough poke damage to kind of just whittle up that I'd say whittle down, but technically in this game, the higher numbers, the more damage you take. So increasing that percentage of health that Raymond the GOAT is, or a percentage of damage, I should say.
Yes.
But because Raymond the GOAT is the GOAT, just kind of evening those odds very quickly there. However,
gets knocked out.
you just barely hanging in there. 139 is a very bad number to be at. However, just knocking Brandini 99 over and over again. But Raymond the GOAT is one hit away. One good hit, I should say. Well, Brandini... Okay. It's going to be one of these hits, I promise you. Every hit is increasing the odds that it's going to be this next hit. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now the odds have been evened out, 0 to 0, 2 stock to 2 stock. But Raymond the GOAT having that charge build slowly but surely on Cloud. Hopefully, once we see that grow even farther, it'll be better. It'll be for the better. But Brandini 99, once again, just playing a lot more ranged, slowly but surely, a little bit more methodically. Just whittling more and more, putting more and more damage into Raymond the GOAT. But Raymond the GOAT, though, using that charge to kind of just do a ton of damage, Brandini. Enough to kind of make it a little bit more concerning, I think. Definitely changing the tide of this game. Playing a little bit more of a vertical play there, though. Raymond the GOAT knocking Brandini up and up and up until we see some sort of action here. But because Brandini is just going to be using that Dark Samus rather impressively, playing very smartly, I think. Just, making sure that What comes up must come down. And Raymond the GOAT, for the first time so far tonight, is now no longer in any sort of lead. Is down to 1 stock, whereas Brandini having 2 stock, but being very close to losing 1 stock. Any hit here will be the defining factor. But these are 2 really good opponents, and there we go. I was waiting for that. I could never. It's always one more hit, and I'm always going to get it wrong. But Raymond the GOAT having that charge built back up. Hopefully, it's getting a little bit concerning here at 92%. 1 stock to 1 stock, so next elimination wins this round. But we can see these players playing very smart, not wanting to play too aggressive, making sure that they're playing, those levels, those platforms, playing at a ranged area when they can. Raymond the GOAT, though, using that shield to his advantage, making sure that any sort of damage he takes is just not going to cause any sort of issues. Using a great parry there and going to be laying down a ton of damage into Brandini, but it's not enough. Still, leading. Brandini is still leading by about 30%. Hopefully we can see Raymond the GOAT, though. There we go, using those slices to just knock Brandini out. No way to come back into the arena. What do you think of that map?
That was great. I honestly, Brandini had a great start on the Dark Samus and was really playing more passively and countering Raymond. I'm glad Raymond came back. He is the GOAT. He did great.
Yeah. Now we are entering this 3rd round. It is now match point for Raymond the GOAT. It'll be great to see a 3-0 in his first regular season match of the year. Hard to say, though. Brandini could come back. Sure. I think, honestly, Cloud versus Dark Samus, I don't know what the winning situation is there. I think you having a melee against a ranged, one would think the ranged would work. But because Cloud has those sword slices, able to do some really, really good range damage to counter the Dark Samus, it's hard to say. But we are going to be seeing, it looks like Raymond the GOAT is going to be swapping to Ike. What do you think of that?
That's a good pick. I'm interested to see what he does with that.
Yeah, Ike is always a very solid, very classic fighter to choose. Definitely able to do a decent amount of damage at a moment's notice. Going to be lacking that projectile, though. Any sort of projectile or ranged attack, and because this is itemless, as is the standard for competitive Smash, not really going to be able to get an advantage. But if it's hard to say, because Samus usually, assuming Brandini doesn't change, Samus is pretty good when you get close quarters, being able to use that spin attack to knock people up in the air if they get too close. What do you think? What are you expecting for this next match?
I'm assuming that Raymond he's got some way to counter it. He's making the decision for Ike for a reason. I think he's gonna bring it this round.
Oh, I'm excited. I know that Raymond the GOAT, talking to him the other day, Ike is definitely one of his backup mains. And Brandini not switching off that Dark Samus, but right off the bat, Raymond the GOAT doing a ton of damage to Brandini, already at 50%, and Raymond the GOAT only at 3%, as I say that, knocking Brandini up to that 70% and blocking that projectile immediately with that sword slash. Amazing to see. Great dominance off the gate, but there's still a lot of Smash to be played. 87% now on Brandini. Raymond the GOAT not able to parry that, or counter, deflect, I should say, that pulse beam, I forget what it's called, the laser orb. But not even letting that stop him, and already knocking Brandini up in the air, 127%, just causing a lot of dominance on this battlefield.
Right off the bat.
Yeah, I'm seeing some good aerial play, but Brandini charging up that cannon, it's, that's something you don't want to happen. But Raymond the GOAT using that sword attack to kind of just attempt to kind of knock Brandini off the side once again, ensuring that there isn't any sort of real chance to get to the side. But unfortunately, Brandini coming back, taking a ton more damage, though. And finally, Raymond the GOAT getting that first stock off the board for Brandini. That being said, there's still a lot of damage on Raymond's counter. So going to have to play pretty smart here. Brandini getting a slight grapple there, knocking Raymond into the ground, doing a decent amount of attack 100% now for Raymond the GOAT. One good shot will knock him out of the arena. But hopefully we don't see that. Hopefully we don't have to experience that. Hopefully Raymond the GOAT at that 120 percentage can still do enough damage to Brandini to do a lot. We're seeing a lot more shield usage on this map, though. Raymond the GOAT, though, not letting anything stop him. Once again, just knocking Brandini all across the map, not letting it phase him, and decreasing that margin of health despite being at 156. Raymond the GOAT dodging that massive beam, but because of the dodge, not able to come back into the arena. Now evening out at 2 stock, Brandini at 92%, Raymond the GOAT at 0. Raymond the GOAT and Brandini playing, we could see a lot more shield play, you know, kind of trying to fake each other out, popping it and trying to drown any sort of counter attack there, which honestly is, it's a move. It's definitely could be a move. But Raymond the GOAT knocking Brandini out onto their last stock. Raymond the GOAT still at a really good percentage for that second stock. Up to 99.9%, about to hit 100%. Will we see Raymond the GOAT knock Brandini out before losing this stock? What do you think?
Brandini's getting some good combos here on Ray.
Yeah, Raymond the GOAT, though, just really taking a brunt of the damage. 40% on Brandini. Not just Raymond the GOAT. It's not able to get that attack there. Just a lot of damage being dealt when he's not able to get enough damage themselves. But falling out of the match, now resetting the counter to 0%. Last stock, though, so the next elimination ends the round. Will Raymond the GOAT be able to take Brandini out? 95%, really, really bad. And you're going to be using that sword slam, but it's not enough. Just barely, just a little bit too soon, and not knocking Brandini off the ledge as he'd probably hope. But the grapple is going to work, and it's going to knock even more damage into it. And finally getting what he's been trying to do, knocking Brandini out before he can even touch the platform. And Raymond the GOAT securing round 3, securing the first game of tonight, first game of Raymond the GOAT's season. How do you think that went?
I'm surprised. We were kind of worried about how that Ike pick wasn't going to have range against Samus, but Raymond really utilized it and was getting some good hits, good combos, and he secured that win.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful to see. But it looks like our next match is going to be at 6 p.m. With Dean Machine versus Earth Sitter. So we are going to be back probably after a 5-minute break while we get that next match set up. Great match by Raymond the GOAT, and I am excited to see how this goes in the future. Welcome back, everybody, for match 2 of tonight. The Carthage Firebirds Smash team is having a very, very good time so far, and I am excited to see how this match number 2 is going to go. It is Dean Machine versus Earth Sitter. Match 1 being Raymond the GOAT versus Brandini99. Raymond the GOAT representing Carthage. Phenomenal play. What do you think about that? What did you think about that?
Yeah, Raymond did great in the first round. Really pulled ahead. Second round was a little bit closer. Third round, Raymond took it home, really utilizing their shield abilities. In that last round, playing a little bit more passively, but it ended up working in Raymond's favor.
Yeah, it definitely, we saw, like you said, round 2, a little bit more of a closer match. Round 1 was kind of a huge margin of difference in a sense. Raymond the GOAT just taking a really strong lead early on. Match 2, though, what do you think changed?
I think Raymond was getting still in that aggressive mindset, and who was the opponent?
Brandini99. Against, it was Dark Samus, never changing off Dark Samus.
Yeah.
So definitely something worked out in their favor towards that second match, but then Raymond the GOAT switching to Ike on that third match, regaining that amazing lead. Definitely shows maybe that was the key ingredient to continue that lead. But I'm excited to see how match 2 is going to go. Once again, it is going to be Dean Machine versus Earth Sitter, and it looks like Dean Machine for round 1 is going to be choosing Wolf. Now, the rounds are going to be best of 5 once again. Raymond the GOAT getting a 3-0 is a great situation to be in your first match of the season. You know, doesn't completely define it, but it's a good place to start. You know, a little bit more confident in the coming weeks. So hopefully we're going to see another 3-0 from Dean Machine, and then the Firebirds can hopefully continue that throughout the night. However, later tonight, though, we do have Firebird versus Firebird. I believe it's going to be Lunar Synergy versus Space Food I believe it's going to be a 7:30 game. I will get it. We'll find an exact time graphic at some point tonight because we have a few more matches to go before that. So stay tuned with us every step of the way. We're going to be here. We're going to have a great time. I'm your host, Bearded Man, and I'm joined at the seating, for those who are just tuning in, at the casting chair for the first time. Bunny, how you doing, Bunny?
I'm doing so great, having a good time
Good
watching our Firebirds right now.
Now, you were on the Valorant team. Okay?
I am.
Valorant and Smash are I'd like to think two very different games.
Yes, I would say they're very different.
Just slightly. One's an FPS, the other one is a fighter game of Nintendo characters. Do you think, hypothetically, a Valorant, a fighting style game like this of Valorant characters would work?
You know, they got the ultimate abilities, their special abilities, so it's similar in that way.
Yeah. I've noticed, though, there isn't a lot of melee play, a lot of, melee attacks, in a sense, in Valorant. You know, every character having those knives at their disposal, but they're not using them to their advantage. What's up with that? You know, it's working out for this game. They have it. They have that ability, but I've never seen that.
Valorant needs to make some changes, I guess.
Hey, Riot, if you're listening, I have an idea for you.
Take notes from Nintendo.
Send us a DM because I am looking for a job. So I am looking. However, I'll make the next game. Or Nintendo, if you're watching. Hey, Nintendo, call me. Love to see it, though.
You can propose your new Super Smash ideas.
Yeah,
where they can take it.
Super Valorant. Super Valorant gang agents. I'm
sure that would be great.
That was another thing I noticed when I learned I was going to be casting Smash this season. I had to ask the team, what is the official term for the characters you select? Because Valorant has agents.
Oh, right.
Overwatch has heroes. Apex Legends has legends. League of Legends has champions. Everybody has a different term. There's not one standardized character. It messes me up every single time. And I was like, what do you call it? Do you call them competitor? It's just fighters, which makes sense. I don't know what I was expecting.
Fighters.
But
why do they all need to have a different name?
Because it's just unique. You know, you could say character. Hey, what character are you going to pick? But that's not cool. What fighter are you going to pick?
You're right.
You know, you got Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, though, kind of starting out this saga of fighting games.
Yeah.
What is it? If you had to choose one, Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter?
I think I really like the graphics in Mortal Kombat. I'm not going to lie. I think like visually wise, it's a lot more exciting, especially like in the newer ones. But Street Fighter is also quite iconic.
Yeah,
so.
I gotta say though, Smash always has a place in my heart. And going into round 1, Dr. Mario is going to be Dean Machine's competitor. Dean versus the EC Eagles. It does sound like it is Earthsitter. Right off the bat, though, Dean is going to be putting in a lot of damage onto EC Eagles. That Dr. Mario pick, though, might be a good counter, having that ability to have a decent amount of ranged ability, mixing with Wolf, who's going to also have that melee ability with that ranged attack, the hybrid in a sense. But right off the bat, Dean Machine just making sure to lay in a lot of ranged damage, making sure that Dr. Mario can't get too close. And when Dr. Mario is able to get pretty close, doing a lot of damage, evening it out right off the bat. The 3 stock to 3 stock, though, there's a lot of stuff to be played. It does sound like it is going to be Edgewood College, to clarify, the Edgewood College in Madison, Wisconsin against the Carthage College in Kenosha, Wisconsin. So Battle of Wisconsin here. Hopefully, Dean Machine can prove us the victory. Give us the victory, I should say. But this looks like it's going to be a pretty even battle. I mean, we're seeing both characters pretty even in terms of damage dealt. Honestly, though, I'm not quite sure. Do you see one of these people kind of increasing a lead? However, as I say that, Dean Machine making sure that lead is a lot more prominent, taking out the first stock from Edgewood, from Earthsitter. Battle of the Wisconsin Birds. Always love to see it. Wisconsin having such a strong presence for esports, especially in Smash. So I'm going to call this a victory if Dean Machine is able to continue this lead. But a lot of Smash to be played. It is just seeing numbers that high. Dean at 184%, meaning just the more damage, the higher the number, the more damage you took, and the larger chance that you are going to be flying out of the screen, out of the arena, and losing one of your stock being your lives in this game.
Just like that?
Just like that, one hit away. The higher you are, the more red the number is, the worst time you're going to have. The worst time you're going to have. It's just funny, though, because I think it's about 100% that it turns like a really dark red, and then you could go another 150% off of that, and you're going to have you can still do rather well. You could still be very strong.
You can stay on the stage with
exactly.
that.
We saw Dean Machine at like 160 or something percent, and having a great time, making sure to deal a lot of damage to Earthsitter. So
yeah,
exciting.
Just in those. Yeah. Sorry to cut you off. In those high percentage situations, they're really knowing when to fall back, when to use their shield, and coming back for those combos.
Now, I got to say, I am impressed with how quickly that EC was able to get, bring up that number of Dean, do a lot of damage without taking any real damage themselves. It is now up to pretty much kind of an even fight. And again, once again, as I say that, Dean Machine taking out another one of the stock from EC Eagles and staying at those high percentages. We're seeing those high percentages almost act as if they're giving that benefit to Dean Machine, making sure that they're a little more of a glass cannon, able to dish out, which is funny because I don't think it has any sort of effect to how much damage you're actually outputting. You're just having more damage being soaked up. Unfortunately, though, that grapple move is going to deal a decent amount of damage right off the bat for the EC Eagles, evening it out immediately. EC Eagles sticking at that 59% and knocking Dean Machine out for the first round. That was impressive to see. I thought that Dean Machine was holding a really good lead that whole time, and then all of a sudden, EC Eagles coming back. What do you think allowed them to gain that upper hand?
I thought Dean was doing a great job standing his ground in those high percentage situations. I think EC was able to just kind of take advantage of his projectiles and some of his abilities to counter that, and was just able to take it home.
It was a great match to see, very well played from both teams. We might be seeing all 5 matches or all 5 rounds of this match. So, we still have a lot of Smash to be played. But ultimately, what are you thinking Dean is going to have to do in this next round to kind of even the odds a bit more?
I'm thinking maybe a bit more aggressively. Not that it was entirely passive those last rounds, but a lot of shield use and kind of like backing off. So hopefully we'll see some more aggressive plays and that will work out for him.
Yeah, I think you have to really utilize those ranged plays. When you have, I mean, Wolf is more of a hybrid character, being able to use the laser pistol to do some range damage from a really good amount of range damage. But then, getting close quarters, being able to pull out some melee moves, knocking around the opponent. But with Dr. Mario really excelling in those close quarters fights as well. So I think that might have been the biggest downfall was, yeah, sure, Dr. Mario does have a little bit of ranged ability, but ultimately really doing a lot of damage close quarters. I don't think it doesn't look like that Dean machine is going to be swapping off of that Wolf. So hopefully they might have something, up their sleeves, not playing a little bit smarter, playing a little bit more distant. But I don't know if maybe the EC Eagles are going to switch and throw that off. I don't think either player knows if the other person's going to swap until very shortly.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see it. I think we saw a pretty good dominance from Dean on that Wolf pick. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It's true.
I think the thing, it wasn't a drastic lead. As I say that, though, it does look like Dean might be swapping off a Wolf. Unreadying for a split second. Hard to see what they're going to be doing. Hard to say what they're doing because they're out there thinking, talking, strategizing. But what do you think the best map is in Smash Ultimate?
Ooh, okay. I actually don't know if this map is still if it's in Smash Ultimate, but I know that it was on the Wii. Okay. It's the Pikmin map.
I believe it is in this one. Yeah,
that is my favorite map. I love it.
Are you a big Pikmin fan?
I am.
You are? Okay.
Yes.
It's a good choice. I've always wanted to get into it. I think it's
it's so fun.
It looks fun. They just announced the new one, didn't they?
Yes. Yeah. I don't know if it's out already. Actually, I don't remember. Yeah, but I gotta play it.
It looks fun. I want to get. So I still have. Oddly enough, I still have my original. I don't have my original GameCube. I had a GameCube when I was growing up, 2005-ish, and I had a little memory card, that you would put in to store all your data. And then I don't know what happened. My GameCube disappeared. I grew out of it. I got a Wii, grew out of that, but I kept the memory card. And then back in, I think, 2014, 2015, I was like, let me look. And I bought a GameCube on eBay. And I looked, and I had that memory card still, and I plugged it in. All of my data from 2005, all of my game saves, everything still on it.
That is amazing.
And I don't want to touch it in a sense. I don't want to ruin any of that data. I'm tempted to get a new memory card, but I think Pikmin might be a game that I'm going to pick up very shortly. Very, very shortly. Pikmin 1, 2, 3, and then eventually 4. But I know that they also announced the new Legend of Zelda game. Are you into Legend of Zelda?
Yes, I am.
What do you think the best? Now this is the ultimate question.
The best game?
The best Legend of Zelda game.
My favorite, in my opinion, I wouldn't say it's the best. It is my personal favorite.
What is your favorite?
Majora's Mask.
Majora's Mask. Interesting.
That's a childhood favorite of mine. Yeah, Majora's Mask. I want a tattoo of it actually.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I haven't played that one. Wind Waker, though, I think I really like the art style.
I haven't played that one, but I've seen a lot of it.
I like that one. Ocarina of Time, I personally never played, but my brother has, who's a really big Legend of Zelda fan, and he really...
I think that's a lot of big Zelda fans' favorites. I think that's a fan favorite.
Yeah, it does look like we do have... I should mention, we do not have a stream delay, so we do have some people talking in chat. Jagsage saying Link's Awakening. I have never played Link's Awakening. See, I'll be 100% honest. Big Nintendo guy. I don't know anything about Legend of Zelda outside of Wind Waker and a little bit of Ocarina of Time. What is this? Do you know the storyline? I got to be honest. It's hard
all of Zelda, not entirely. Like I could go game by game. Majora's Mask is the one that I know the most about, so I know some other tidbits of the lore and such.
They're pretty. Are they pretty isolated games in a sense? Just like
not
different timelines? I don't
sort
know.
of. I think a lot of them are like at different points in Link's life and different realities, possibly. I don't
We got
know
the
a
Link
whole lot.
multiverse here. You
Yeah,
know?
I don't.
we got oh my gosh. I'm surprised they haven't made. I mean, they do have the new upcoming Mario movie that I'm actually pretty excited for.
Mario movie.
Have you not
I have
seen
not
the
heard about
Super
this.
Mario Brothers movie?
No.
Are you kidding me? It
Is
actually
it
looks
like a
really-
live action?
No, it's animated, but it looks really good.
Interesting.
It is weird because doing the voice of Mario. Okay, in case you didn't know, for the viewers at home especially, the character Mario has been around for I'd say close to 60 years, not 60 years, since the 80s. So 40 something years. He has been voiced by the same guy for pretty much all social. There are a few exceptions. You know, I think there was a limited run TV series that he didn't voice, but for the most part, for the main Mario content, same guy. I forget his name, unfortunately.
Is he doing the movie?
He did not. He did not do the movie. He is not doing the movie. Guess who
Tragic.
is doing the voice for Mario?
Is it you?
No, I wish. What do you think?
I have no idea.
My producer is guessing Danny DeVito. It is Chris Pratt.
Oh, I did know this.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, where have you been?
Okay, I did know this. I forgot. Okay, because I haven't seen any of like the actual like pictures or anything from the.
Really?
Is there like?
So there's 2 trailers out now.
There is trailers. Okay, I did hear about Chris Pratt though.
It's weird because when I first heard that, I was very hesitant, but hearing in the first trailer, I was like, all right. It
I wanna
sounds
hear
weird
what his
because there's
voice
no.
sounds like.
I don't think there's any sort of like accent to it. It's just Chris Pratt's voice. However, every other casting in it. So Jack Black is playing Bowser.
That is amazing.
I loved it. I love Jack Black. Okay, I think he is one of the most underrated actors in the profession right now. You know, this man has, first of all, a very angelic voice. I believe he sang the national anthem at like a Lakers game once, and oh my gosh,
Really spoke
goosebumps.
to you?
Well, he's got a great voice, but it looks like we are unfortunately going to have to take a quick break. We are having a little bit more technical difficulties, but we'll probably be back with more to talk about of the Mario movie. So definitely stay tuned for that, and we will catch you after just a quick little bit of a break. Welcome back. It's me, the Bearded Man, and I'm joined by Bunny once again for round 2 of Game 2 of Carthage Firebirds in that Smash Ultimate Series. Dean Machine versus the Edgewood College. I believe it's going to be Earthsitter representing them. Right off the bat, though, Dean Machine taking a brunt of the damage, initial little bit of damage there, but Edgewood is able to come back, or Dean is able to come back and kind of even it out slightly. But ultimately, we're seeing a lot more of a kind of a, you're definitely seeing they're keeping their space, making sure that they're not just right on each other, having a great time. But, you know, it's just right off the bat, we could see Dean Machine taking a lot of more damage than I was expecting, though. What do you think is kind of going wrong? You think, you know, they're just keeping that space to the point where you're not able to do anything with Wolf. And you can see they're jumping around a lot more, which is definitely the way to counter projectiles. Unfortunately, though, getting knocked out right off the bat. Unfortunately, though, Edgewood College is able to just, I don't know. I don't know. It's definitely an interesting strategy here, jumping around. As Mario, though, he's kind of known for that.
Yeah, he's utilizing the Dr. Mario utility quite well and still taking a decent amount of damage, but now Dean is up at higher damage as well. Yeah,
knocking Edgewood up more and more. You know, just one knock away. Every time they're in red, I always say one knock away, but then it's going to be probably 3 or more hits.
Never know.
But like the Wolf versus Dr. Mario matchup, who do you think has that advantage?
See, I normally wouldn't expect that much from Dr. Mario, Wolf being like a pretty iconic pick, I guess, an older pick. So interesting matchup for sure, but yeah,
I thought you were going to say something else. But no, I mean, you said it perfectly. I think that Dr. Mario honestly kind of wins this matchup. You know, I think having a great amount of a high damage melee attack is better than a low damage projectile attack. And that is honestly what we're seeing here. Like the projectile attacks from Wolf are just not cutting it. Not enough when you're, you know, having characters just kind of attack so aggressively. The high damage melee is just ultimately going to win. Wolf has that ability, though. I think, you know, I would expect Wolf to be able to dish out enough damage to kind of meet it. But it's just we're not seeing that from Dean right now. And I don't know if it's a strategy or, you know, a strategy to kind of try and create as much space. You know, but if that's all you're focusing on, constantly making sure you're backing up away from the opponent, you're just not going to have enough time to deal any sort of damage. And here we go. We saw the EC Eagles knocking Earthsitter for the EC Eagles, knocking out Dean Machine really quick. That was a pretty quick match. That might have been the quickest match we've seen all night tonight. So looks like Earthsitter taking that round 2 in that match point. One more round for that victory. Going into round 3, what do you think is going through Dean Machine's mind?
I think that it's possible he switches characters here. I think that Earthsitter was really taking advantage of those like pauses, those slower moments, and getting those attacks in. So Dean's gonna need to be a little bit more aggressive and not as backing away as much. Not that that's always a bad thing, of course, but a good balance of both.
Yeah, and I think swapping off of Wolf is probably the move here. You know, if it didn't work the first 2 times, like we were saying during the cast or during the game, Wolf is really good at those, having that persistent long range. But I think against the Dr. Mario matchup, you're needing somebody who has a little bit more direct damage, a lot more of a melee ability, a lot more close quarters, because we can see Dr. Mario very fast. Very, very fast. You know, maybe even switching, if you really want to stick with it, switching to Falco maybe, who is a little bit faster, maybe switching to Fox. But Wolf, I don't know. I don't think it's cutting it. But I could be proven wrong.
Sure.
You know, I am very much a person who has been proven wrong. If you have seen any other casts with me, I'm proven wrong constantly. I will constantly say, oh, maybe this is going to work out, and it doesn't work out. Or maybe this is not going to work out, and it does work out. So I'm ready for Dean Machine to prove me wrong once again.
Wolf or not, he's
Yeah.
he's gonna give it his best
I gotta say though, I think Wolf is a pretty cool character.
for sure.
You know, are you familiar with any of the Star Fox games?
Back in the day,
Back in the
back
day.
in the day,
Back in the day.
I knew a little bit about. I've never played any of them.
Me neither. I think they're cool. I mean, I've seen like videos.
It was a
and stuff
little
of the
bit
old
before
ones.
my time.
It's weird because I don't think we've really had a new. The last Star Fox game that I distinctly remember was like for the 3DS.
Really?
Yeah. But you know what series that they do need to bring back?
What?
F-Zero with Captain Falcon and all that. Like that,
I think that would be
is
big.
so cool. You know, that map on Smash, you know, with the really fast cars going zoom, you know, knocking you around. I think that's a great time. I think that is a really cool concept for a game. I think they need to bring that back.
What was the last console that was on?
I think Nintendo 64. I don't know,
Wow.
but I don't think. I think it's been a few. I might be GameCube. It's probably confident. I'd put money on it being GameCube because there were so many GameCube games back then.
Mm-hmm.
But Dr. Mario, that's a game that I love Tetris. Okay, Tetris might be one of my favorite games. I'm pretty good at it. I'm by no means any level of grandmaster.
Professional Tetris player.
Okay, I will say this. I do semi-consistently watch the world championships when they happen. And unfortunately, I know the world, like the 5-time world champion passed away like last year.
Really?
And I was actually, I reckon when I saw the notification, I was like, I actually know who that is, and I'm kind of sad. You know, he definitely an inspiration for a lot of people because
Yeah.
I'd like to say he is like the Gary Kasparov of Tetris, because they are, I believe, ranks to Tetris,
Really?
like Grandmaster being the highest like
Really?
there is in chess. It is impressive. And watching the professional Tetris players, like it really comes down to they have to they've developed, speedrunners especially, developed a way to hold the controller so that they can press the inputs like just a little, like literally a millisecond faster.
Wow.
It is all about looking at the internals of the controller and like figuring out how to make the actuation time just a little bit faster.
Wow.
And it's to the point where there's some people who like they have to play with their feet because that like they're able to get a little bit more force or
That
something
is
like
crazy.
that. I'm not quite sure, but we're not talking about Tetris. We're talking about Smash once again. On to round 3. Dean Machine swapping to the counter to Mario, the opposite of Mario in the Mario world, Wario. Because it's, you know, M upside down. Honestly, this might be the pick for we were hoping for. I mean, Wario is a much more of a hands-on type of fighter, able to do a lot more melee damage and being able to basically chomp and stick Dr. Mario in his mouth and chop down, cause a lot of damage. And that bike, you know, having the ability to spit that bike out and ride it around, allowing for some good mobility here, and just some little bit of damage, I believe, when you throw it around, and knocking it around, causing explosions. It's pretty cool. Do you think he has insurance on that bike?
I sure hope so.
I sure hope so too. You know, it's definitely not something you want, especially just storing it in his mouth was just an interesting strategy. Unfortunately, though, the bike was not able to get any sort of just not enough damage onto EC Eagles, and they're knocking Dean to that 2-stock set. And EC Eagles still holding strong. Now I say that, and then I look back, and he is back. They are back to that 2-stock, so kind of an even match right now. What do you think? Do you think the Wario pick right away is going well?
I mean, it's interesting movement going on around the platform. I have the real question for you. Who's better at Tetris, Mario or Wario?
Oh, Wario, hands down.
Really?
No, I'm kidding. Mario.
You think so?
Yeah, because it's I'm trying to think. There's got to be some clever pun here, but I'm honestly not thinking of it right now. But Dr. Mario, the game of Dr. Mario is very similar to Tetris.
It's true.
So I'd say Dr. Mario wins. But I don't know. Wario might come out and it definitely come back with some secret talent of Tetris, Tetris.
We'll have to test this hypothesis later on.
Somehow, yeah. We will find. We'll definitely ask the creator of the characters or the creator of Smash Ultimate. Just be like, hey, to the viewers at home watching, who do you think is better at Tetris, Mario or Wario? But right now, though, Dean Machine knocking down to 1 stock. It is a far closer match than I was really hoping for, or far less of a close match, I should say. You know, EC Eagles, Earthsitter specifically, doing a ton of damage to Dean Machine. Wario was, I think, the good pick, the good change, but it's not enough. And I think Dr. Mario is just far more agile, far more hands-on in a sense. I say that, and of course, Dean Machine knocking Earthsitter out of the arena, off the side of the building. Is this? I believe this is a Kingdom Hearts map. I'm not quite sure. I can see the heart in the background, so I'm gonna take a shot in the dark, and it is Kingdom Hearts. But will this, will Dean Machine being at such high percentage be able to get that upper hand and knock? I say that, unfortunately, not going to. Answering my own question, unfortunately, Earthsitter getting all 3 rounds, first 3 rounds, 3-0 in this match too. But ultimately, Dean Machine, going into the future weeks, will know. We'll be able to watch this game, kind of learn. I think definitely learning somebody a little bit more. I think swapping off a Wolf before round 2 was a better choice. You know? I think waiting to round 3 just was not going to work out for them.
Yeah, I think that Wario was definitely a better choice. Got the good movement with the bike. Just wasn't enough this time to fully counter Dr. Mario here, but
yeah, I think Wario was able to hit harder punches in a sense, but Dr. Mario having just really quick attacks, really fast movement, overall just a very solid fighter to choose. Honestly, it just was not working out. So hopefully going into week 2 next week, Dean Machine will be able to kind of use that, learn somebody else, practice practice when to switch, kind of read the opponents a little bit better. But ultimately, losses happen. It was a pretty close few rounds, so there's absolutely no shame into it. We have another game coming up at 7 p.m. Our next match, our second to last match of the night. 7 p.m. is going to be Junior versus Jupiter. And after that match, we are going to be having Space Food versus Lunar Synergy, Firebird versus Firebird. So definitely stay tuned for that. That is going to be the headlining match of the night. Going to be a very, very fun one. I'm hoping the Firebirds win that round.
Yeah, I'm hoping they do too.
I'm really hoping that one of at least the Firebird will win that one. I'm curious. I don't know. I don't even know who to expect to win that one though.
It's going to be a good fight.
Yeah, we'll save our predictions for later that though, and we'll come back with an answer to the age-old question: who is better at Tetris, Wario or Mario? We'll be back with that answer probably around 7 o'clock for this next match. So we will catch you in a short bit.